Hello, and welcome to this very special episode of Tales from the Glass-Guarded World. If you're new to the podcast, and if you are, why in the world are you starting here? I'm Mike, the cruel, heartless, bloodthirsty DM. One of our listeners, who goes by the Pink Pastor, offered to run and record a special, very silly adventure featuring listeners as the players. Surprisingly, several players expressed interest, and here we are. I consider this one of the highest compliments we could have received. Someone likes our story, characters, and setting so much that they're willing to put in work to tell their own story in that world. So that's what they did. They recorded it, and I've edited it and added music. The result is the thing you're about to hear, and I think it's canonical. I think this ridiculous, chaotic adventure is actually part of the story of World 83. So sit back and enjoy Oops, All Lumpens, or maybe Into the Lumpenverse, or something like that, featuring Pavel Lishin, Padraig from Painting Poorly, Brandon Weigel, Ryan from Brave Adventures, and their brave, creative DM, the Pink Pastor.
The night is dark. You all immediately arise, finding yourself in an unfamiliar place. You hear some sort of thundering coming from some far-off distance above you. You look around and you find yourself in a strange new place. You are surrounded by some sort of glass container. To your left and right are other glass containers, each of which holds a different sort of substance. Some are just blank piles of material, while others seem to be cloth figures arising off of the wooden shelf that you all find yourself upon. As you look down at yourself, you notice that you are also some sort of cloth material figure. Within the room, there's lots of strange goings-ons and different devices emitting different sounds and lights, but at the moment, the only thing that you do know is that your name is Lumpen. What would you like to do?
How small are these glass containers? Are they like the size of our small bodies, or are they pretty big?
They're about the size of your body. It's just a little bit larger.
Oh, so it's one per container.
Yes, it is only one Lumpen per container.
Okay.
Is there a lid on the containers?
Have you seen The Beauty and the Beast? You know, like the rose that's in the glass container? It's like you just kind of pick it up and put it down. Yeah.
It's like an inverted bowl kind of situation almost.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
However, there's nothing beneath you other than the wooden shelf that this glass container is on. So there's no bottom to the container. It's just on top of you.
Okay. I'm going to try something.
Go for it.
So my cloth body is made of 100% all natural, sustainable hemp fiber, and I'm going to try to transform it. So the stitches around my neck and mouth and everything start to like pop and rip and unravel themselves, and the form of my body will change, and like the sort of like dark cloth inside my mouth is going to pop out and turn into a nose, and the body warps and puffs out in different places and fills a container, and basically I'm trying to wild shape into what should be a mastiff, but what ends up looking like a really horrible stuffed puppy with like a felt tongue and two mismatched size button eyes, but I'm trying to sort of, take up more space than the container allows.
So yeah, that was a horrifying description. But yeah. All right, so you guys see as this one of these cloth figures emerges through this transformation process into a stuffed hemp puppy. Also, at this point, it might be good for us to describe what your characters look like. We have one character, one Lumpen, is made out of 100% hemp fibers, and he has now turned into a stuffed dog. What do the rest of your Lumpens look like?
So my Lumpen he's made of regular cloth, but he's got these iron ringlets kind of sewn in. It almost looks a little bit maybe like chain, like almost like chainmail, not really close enough together to look like chain, not close enough together to really provide the same protection as chainmail. But there's a fair amount of like actual iron rings woven into this Lumpen.
My Lumpen is... he's kind of a raggedy piece of cloth, like woven sack. And it's stitched into what looks like a hide work apron, like something that you'd see maybe a blacksmith use. It's dyed and burned. It's got scorch marks across it from where it's been in contact with heat. And he's a little frayed at the edges, maybe a little singed, but he looks similar in shape to the other Lumpens that are around him.
I imagine us all looking kind of like really malformed children's dolls, sort of with like a little extra cloth in random places and nasty looking stitching where the mouths should be, stuff like that.
Yeah, and there's a creepy music box playing in the corner.
Yeah.
So the puppy the stuffed dog that my Lumpen turned into was very cute. The original Lumpen, kind of cute. The entire transition process is horrifying. But.
All right, so now what would this hemp Lumpen or this hemp puppy? What is it attempting to do something in this new shape?
Yeah, the goal was to become something larger than the original form and therefore kind of become bigger than the container and hopefully either burst through it or just lift it off of its plinth.
All right. Roll a strength check for me.
With the dog stats, 5.
All right. So you stand up and it lifts up about an inch. But then, it's now, you guys see this dog as it gets bigger and bigger. It's now just kind of like pressed up against the glass, kind of like when somebody smushes their face up against the glass. And it's bigger than this container, and the glass itself lifts up about an inch. But Hemp Lumpen, you kind of figure out that it's a very heavy glass container. So you're not able to quite move it around, but you are standing up, and it is no longer on top of directly flush with the wooden drawer that you were on before.
This is very uncomfortable. Try to shuffle my toes and maybe if I'm carrying the lid, can I just fall off?
All right, sure. All right. Let's see how this goes. You shuffle towards the end. Roll a dexterity saving throw for me.
Oh, great. +0. 4.
Okay. So you smash into the ground, container and all. You break out, but you are going to take 3 points of piercing damage as these glass shards rip into your hempen puppy self. What would the rest of you like to do?
I'm gonna say, puppy person, I come help, and I'm gonna try to shove my container forward.
Okay, roll a strength check for me.
All right, come on, strength check. Oh, nat 20. That's a 22 total.
Man. So you guys see him kind of wind up. He crouches down a little bit, and then he just shoves the entire container straight off of him, and it smashes against the opposing wall with a very victorious crack. And then standing victorious, completely unencumbered, is this iron Lumpen.
And I'm gonna walk over to him and see if I can help. Maybe kind of extend a hand.
So you are still up on this wooden shelf. He is now down below.
Okay, how high up am I?
So you're about 5 feet up off the ground on a wooden shelf that is flush with the wall. And as you guys emerge from these glass, I can give you more description of the room if you'd like. I was just kind of letting you get a chance to escape your glass prisons.
How tall are we, by the way?
You're about 1.5 feet tall, I believe.
Okay.
We'll say this iron Lumpen's a little bit larger.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and hop down to help and kind of look around and take the room in as I'm trying to get over to him, trying not to land on the broken shards of glass.
Okay, we'll say you do this cool thing where you kind of like puff yourself out your cloth and kind of come down as a parachute. A little bit faster because of all the iron ringlets, but you land safely enough. All right, what about our singed Lumpen?
I'm looking around at this glass container, and I've seen the mutant puppy across the way smash the glass and, have bits of glass embedded in him. And I've seen the iron lumpen yeet this glass halfway across the room. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I know what I can do. And I cast Firebolt at the top of the glass, thinking that I can heat the air enough that it's going to lift the glass up so that I can dash out.
Wow. Okay.
I love this.
All right. This is a bold move. I like it. Well, so first off, is Firebolt an attack roll?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Roll an attack roll for me.
That is a 10.
Okay. So you guys, the rest of you, you see all of a sudden hit this glass container with this lumpen just explode in flame. And you're like, oh, that's it. we lost one already. But then, so Lumpen, roll a dexterity saving throw.
I don't know, are they Lumpen 2 and other Lumpen?
Well, you know that you are Lumpen.
Oh, so I am Lumpen.
You are Lumpen.
Oh, yeah. I rolled on my dex check, a 17.
Okay, perfect. So you guys see this exploding inferno in this glass, and you think, oh, we've already lost our brother. But then suddenly, as this glass propels itself upward with this explosion, you guys see a completely unharmed Lumpen come rolling off and rolling down off of this shelf, landing next to you. Smoke drifts off of him, completely unfazed by the inferno that he just emerged from.
Hi, I'm Lumpen.
Ruff.
Hello, I am Lumpen. I think Dog is also Lumpen.
Ryan Rumpin.
Oh, so Puppy Lumpen is also Lumpen. And you said your name was?
Lumpen.
Oh, I'm Lumpen too.
I am Lumpen. We're all Lumpen.
Mm.
We are comrades.
You think, therefore you are Lumpen. All right, as you guys have emerged from your glass prisons, you look around to find yourself seeing a strange new sight. Where you just escaped from, you see the remaining glass containers, each of which contains various materials. Also within the room, you see a desk containing many odd instruments, some of which glow with a faint green ethereal light. There is also a strange sort of needle with thread hanging from it, which floats several inches off of this work table. On the table itself lie several different colored, strange threads and materials. Next to the table, there are also several large glass instruments, each of which contains a liquid of unknown substance, except for one, which also seems to hold another Lumpen, pounding frantically on the glass, even though you are unable to hear the sounds emerging from it.
So is this table like human-sized, not Lumpen-sized?
It is human-sized. It is quite large to you.
Okay. My dog form is more or less, well, it's medium-sized officially. So I could pad over to the table and use my mouth to lift my companions up on top of it.
Okay.
And then I can change to normal Lumpen form again afterward, and or after I jump up on the table.
Okay.
Okay.
So you all find yourselves standing on this table, if you allow yourselves to be carried by this strange dog mutant.
When I open my mouth, you see that the teeth are all sewing needles. It's horrific.
Oh, gosh.
That's horrifying. If I don't take damage from it, I guess.
You're really
maybe I'll even look.
Yeah, you're really blending the line between creepy and cute. I like it. Also, there's a few other things going on in this room. There's this metal ring on the floor, and above it floats these two cubes floating around each other with bursts of electrical energy emerging from them. As the electrical energy extends out, it seems to almost seem like it's about to go out into the room, but then this metal ring below seems to draw the energy downwards into it. Several metal wires emerge from this ring going throughout the room, one of which goes into the glass container holding this other Lumpen. However, all of this is odd and a bit disturbing, but what is perhaps the most mysterious is that as this lightning goes back and forth, and the room is partially illuminated every now and then. You see what appears to be some sort of golden coffin on a stone platform on the other side of the room. There is a metallic plaque underneath it which holds some sort of writing on it as well.
Well,
Is it too far away to read?
At the moment, as you stand on this desk, it is.
I'm going to try pushing the glass container with our silent Lumpen friend to try and tip it over. I'm thinking maybe if take a run and jump at it rather than smashing the glass, like tipping it over.
All right, roll an acrobatics check for me,
Acrobatics.
little Lumpen.
Okay. That's a 15.
All right, you guys see this incredible feat as this singed Lumpen, trailing just white specks of dust behind it, goes leaping off of the table towards this glass container with this other Lumpen inside of it. He smashes into it, and nothing happens. It's an incredible flip. It's beautiful. A 10 out of 10 from the Russian judge, but he hits it, and he slides down back onto the floor.
You said there were weapons and things on the table?
Yes, there's random detritus lying all around the room, different materials. You see, some different, sticks, some metal, some furs. You see what looks to be like a little axe, maybe a few knives. You see some sort of weird set of spoons that seem to have like little edges at the far end of them, which is strange.
Well, chainmail Lumpen, maybe you look strong. You could maybe smash the glass or use one of these things to lever it up. Yeah, that's my hippie druid voice, and if it's really annoying, you should let me know now. Otherwise, it's going to talk like this the whole rest of the episode.
No, it's perfect.
I like it. I will try. I'll pick up one of the little axes, and let's see. Let me see if I can kind of insert it under the jar and try and kind of use some leverage to pry the jar up.
Okay, so this jar, it's on top of a pedestal. However, this jar is bolted down. It's not like you guys. This one seems to be severe, like certain precautions were definitely taken to make sure this jar was not removed like you guys' were. The other ones seemed to be kind of just, haphazard. They threw you in the jar and sat it down. This one, somebody obviously went to a great deal of effort to make sure that this jar was not opened.
And the Lumpen inside looks unhappy about this, right? Like he's pounding on the glass, like please let me out, not like, hi, I'm here.
Yeah.
Right?
Can you describe him a bit more?
Yes.
Is he threatening?
So he does not look threatening. He seems to be made of some of the same sorts of materials that you guys do, that kind of brownish cloth. But then he also seems to have what appears to be like a fancy dinner napkin sewn in with song lyrics kind of hastily written on it. But yes, he is pounding. He does not look threatening. Honestly, this stuffed dog with the needle teeth was probably the most threatening thing in the room.
A bard, we should leave him behind. No. Meanwhile, we should check out this floating thread and needle.
Yeah, I gotta tap the glass with my axe and look at how it's at anchor and say, we need tools. We need tools to free fellow Lumpen.
Yeah.
Let's search.
I think maybe we need more Lumpens to help us escape this Lumpen. And maybe if we use that thread, we could make a super Lumpen.
Well, yeah, another friend would be cool. And there's all this material lying around.
Or we could try melting the glass if we get enough material.
At this point, you guys hear another crash of what maybe is thunder coming from above you somewhere.
Above, like not in the same room, like a different.
Yeah, somewhere above the ceiling, you hear it coming from above. Also, at this point, as you guys are looking through all this material, you stumble upon a note. And I think it was Hemp Lumpen that was looking through that material. So I'm going to copy and paste something, and you can read it out in your disturbing childlike voice.
All Lumpens are creepy. Come
Oh,
on.
I wish he was still a puppy dog.
Yeah, it could be worse. He could still be doing the Scooby-Doo voice.
Okay, the note says, Rag Golem Experiment Day 20. Several experimental lumpens have been created now. Hey, is it weird that I can read and I just woke up? Anyway, additional forms of fabric/armor do indeed seem to have some sort of effect on each lumpen's personality. Interestingly, where the armor was originally created seems to have an effect on this personality. Despite my efforts, each seems to retain a childlike demeanor. Perhaps this is for the best. Otherwise, I imagine this mending trick could be used to create an infinite army of destruction. I vowed to save this world, and save it I shall. Perhaps these lumpens can assist it in such a monumental task. Well, saving the world sounds like a good thing to do.
Wow.
Are we supposed to create more lumpens?
We've been chosen for a great task. We've been created for a great task.
Yeah.
And we've been created with the idea to save people. So obviously, what we can do is all for the betterment of other people.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Even scary Scooby-Doo Lumpen.
As you guys discuss this, the other Lumpen in this glass, he continues to kind of pace around, tapping his cloth finger to his cloth chin, thinking. Meanwhile, these electrical pulses from these cubes continue to emit, and lighting up the room. You see the golden coffin gleaming off in the corner, as well as just all this random material lying about.
Is there anything we could use to, carry stuff if we wanted to take these things with us? Or maybe we'd have to use some of this material to fashion a bag?
We'll say you could use it to fashion a bag. Or, I mean, maybe you could...
With the magical thread.
Yeah, I was going to say this is a little bit disturbing, but I suppose you could cut yourself open and store stuff inside. I don't know what's in...
Yeah, well, are there scissors?
Oh, God. This is quickly turning into a horror film. I did not anticipate this.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. As Fire Lumpen starts picking his stitches to pick stuff up and put it inside, and he's looking around and it's like, I wonder what stuff here would be useful. And I pick up maybe some nails, and if there's a small hammer there that I can stuff inside into my chest, just underneath my chin.
Perfect. Yes, you guys see just a hammer emerging from his chest cavity.
All right, I'll grab that stick I see over there, and I think this thread will come in useful, so maybe I'll just sort of, jab it through my torso, the needle through my torso so that it's easy to get.
Perfect. Yeah, you feel no pain. Even as you felt all these shards of glass kind of go into you, you didn't really feel any pain from it. But yes, as you grab this magical needle and thread, it does feel familiar to you somehow, but you can't quite place it. But it does bring back fond memories, but they're vague and fuzzy.
Maybe if we were meant to help people, maybe there are people elsewhere in the building. Maybe we can go search.
Okay, buddy. We'll come back for you. And I wave at the lumpen stuck in the jar.
I'm going to put my hands together over like a strip of cloth. I'm going to put, you start seeing words appear on the strip of cloth. It says, "Be back soon. Need more stuff. Bye-bye."
This other lumpen trapped in the glass, it nods at you sadly.
Okay.
Can we jump down off the desk? I guess we should probably swing by the coffin and double check and see if we can tell what's written there before we just head out the door.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Sure.
We leap down and sort of spread our cloth like flying squirrels.
Gotcha.
In order to slow our fall.
Tanuki it.
So, as you approach this golden coffin, you now notice for the first time a set of stone stairs leading upwards behind the coffin, kind of shrouded behind it in the darkness. Can all three lumpens read, or just the hemp lumpen?
It doesn't say on my character sheet whether I can or not.
We're gonna roll a d20 for me. This is gonna be your ability to read.
Oh wow, 19.
Okay, yeah, you can definitely read. You've picked up a few other languages along the way, somewhere throughout this, wherever this material within you stemmed from. It seems to have transmitted some sort of knowledge of other languages as well.
I have a 12.
Okay, yeah, you've got the gist of it.
Okay.
All of you are able to recognize then that the plaque beneath this golden coffin reads Mun the Mighty.
Do I recognize the name?
It feels incredibly familiar. You're not quite sure. It's like it's on the tip of your fabric tongue. You know of it, but you can't quite place where you know it from.
Let's see. And so is the wiring leading to these like electrified cube things, is that going to the coffin?
No, the coffin is absent from these metal wires. The metal wires, one of them goes to this, where this other Lumpen is imprisoned. Other ones kind of go throughout the wall, and most of them continue through small holes in the wall to other unknown places throughout whatever sort of complex you find yourselves in.
Does that coffin lid look too big to lift?
I think, well, if you guys all tried it together, maybe.
Okay.
Shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
You go.
All right, so Iron Lumpen, I think you're the strongest. Roll an athletics check with advantage because the others are helping you.
All right, come on. Ooh, I got +4 in athletics. Oh man, one of those was a natural one. Good God. Okay, but looks like I got a 19.
Okay, all three of these Lumpens together, using their combined strength, are able to push the lid of the golden coffin off of it. Inside, you see what appears to be a handsome human male, perhaps in his mid-50s. He looks to be about maybe 5 foot 2 inches tall. He's wearing extravagant green and gold robes. His eyes are closed and his hands are crossed. And in his hands, he holds a small wooden wand.
Hmm.
Can we check if he's? I mean, I guess do we know what a coffin is? Like, do Lumpens know that a coffin is a place where we put a dead body, or would we just think it's like a, I don't know, we're Lumpens, we'd probably go sleep in the box. Maybe this is his bed.
Yeah, this.
Do we know?
Yeah, I'm gonna say you don't really know. This is just kind of a box that is holding a person. It doesn't seem to be moving like you guys are.
But we should check if he's okay or just sleeping or what. I mean, if this is his bed or whatever, then this must be his workshop, and he might be our dad.
Lumpen,
can I roll like a medicine check?
Yeah, Lumpen, roll a medicine check for me.
All right. Don't have proficiency, but I do have wisdom. 13.
He does not seem to be living.
Oh.
You're not quite sure what that means to be living or dead, but he doesn't seem capable of the kind of things you're capable of.
He seems less living than us, which I don't think is very living. What about that wand in his hand?
Yeah, you can pick it up.
Pick it up and examine it.
Okay.
While he's doing that, can I feel the body to see if it's cold or warm?
Yeah, it's very cold.
Okay. Is there is it like in material, or is it just inside in this gold coffin?
Surrounding him, there's rose petals, which seem to have not, faded or been destroyed despite whatever amount of time this body has been in here, but they are filling up the rest of the coffin that is not covered by the body.
So what does a 15 Arcana tell me about the wand?
It has something to do with fire, you think.
Fire? Huh.
Fire?
This seems like something you might be interested in, Lumpen. It seems to do fire stuff.
Okay, I'll take a look at it. And I walk over to Lumpen, and I pick up the wand and start moving it in my hand, trying to figure out what it is. Can I roll an investigation or Arcana?
Sure, I'll let you roll an Arcana.
Okay, so I got a 16.
Okay, yeah, it's definitely some sort of powerful fire thing.
It can definitely cast fire, and fire makes things warm, but I don't think that making him warm will help him. So maybe I shouldn't set him on fire. What do you guys think?
No, don't set him on fire.
Maybe we don't set on fire, but if he is cold, maybe we warm him up. Maybe he'll wake up. Can you warm and not burn?
Yeah, maybe you could warm the coffin or the bed or whatever we're calling it, and not the body.
And you see Lumpen think really hard, and he's looking around for something that's flammable, and he says, I have an idea, but it's a kind of multi-step, so I need some tinder. And he goes and he gathers some of the rose petals and, some of the bits of detritus on the floor and piles it together. And he rubs his hands together, and you just see the pile erupt into this big bonfire out of nowhere. He says, okay, so we've got a bonfire, and now the bonfire starts to change shape, and it sort of creates an aura in front, like a snake that's spinning around in front of the body. And as it spins up, it then comes back down and sort of eats itself. And it just keeps doing this over and over again. And he says, okay, so that might warm him, but I don't know, will it work? Can one of you guys check him? Because I have to keep an eye on it in case it does something.
Do another medicine check.
So roll another medicine check for me.
All right, I got 19.
So yeah, the body is getting warmer, but just on the side where the flames are on, and it doesn't seem to be affecting it at all.
I don't think this is working.
He's only had heated.
Unless...
If we flip, we rotate.
Like a rotisserie.
I don't know what that is, but yes.
Yeah. If we are, brought to life by sewing up cloth, what if we sewed some cloth to him?
That sounds like a really good idea.
Maybe. He's not made, but we are made of cloth. He is not.
Well, I mean...
Maybe we need to find more of the stuff he is made of.
So the smooth, leathery stuff?
Yes.
I think there was some leather in the pile of fabrics and things.
This is really turning into a horror movie. This is going darker and darker by the second.
The leather feels different. Maybe we go check upstairs. Maybe there's fresher leather upstairs.
As Iron Lumpen suggests checking upstairs, you just see Fire Lumpen with like a needle starting to shear some of the leather from the apron that he's made out of. And he just says, "Oh, we're not going this way? Oh, okay, that's fine." And he starts stitching himself back up again.
Maybe before we leave, we should try to help our friend in the jar there. Maybe that wand?
The wand that's there, if it's not a meta question, if we pointed at Silent Lumpen,
okay,
is Silent Lumpen going to get blown to pieces?
That's a meta question. Who's to say, really?
Okay.
Well, you're just this is a trial and error type deal, I think.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay, then what you see is Fire Lumpen gets really excited, and he says, "This sounds like an excellent idea." And he steps up to try and get back up to the platform and get as close as possible, and then point the wand, sort of like he's got the wand at his chest level, and he's holding it directly against the jar. And he gives a little cloth thumbs up to the Lumpen inside. And
what does the Lumpen inside do when he sees him walking up with this wand and giving a thumbs up?
He mirrors the thumbs up.
This is going to work. The see Fire Lumpen try to cast using the wand.
All right, roll an Arcana check for me.
Okay, I rolled a natural 1.
Perfect.
I'm sorry.
Ask for-
It's a nat 1, but it's a modified 5.
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh,
that's
poor
gonna
Ryan.
help.
How many hit points
so-
do I have again?
All right. Somebody look up the stats for Wand of Fireballs.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's what I was hoping for.
All right. I think, can somebody roll, let's see, how many?
7 charges, spell save DC 15.
Well, we'll see how many charges it has. I'll roll a d6 first to see. So, okay, so you used one of the charges, and then now I need somebody to roll 8d6.
I can roll at least some of those. I don't have 8. I
can give you some result right now if you want.
I have 6 of those. Actually, no. You,
All right, you roll.
Padraig, you cast it. You roll it.
Yeah, that's the right
Okay.
way.
Yeah, Padraig, roll your 8d6.
I'm going to need a second because I'm using the Google app.
Also, Ryan, it's nice to finally see your picture and kind of see what you look like.
Yeah.
It's helpful.
Nice
It's
to meet
helpful
you
to
guys.
connect a face to a voice. Yeah.
Is that what your Lumpin looks like?
Okay.
Yeah, like this, but a fancy dinner napkin is how I imagined him.
All right, Padraig, what'd you get?
I rolled amazingly well.
Great.
I rolled a 37.
I mean, the
Perfect.
glass will take some of that.
Perfect.
Wait, 37 damage?
Yes.
Wow, that's an incredible. All right, so we're gonna say, you guys, just this explosion, just it goes everywhere. It's just nuts, and not only he hits it, and one fires out, and it kind of like kicks back. You know, like when a gun, like you shoot it, it kicks back, and then as it kicks back, he fires another one behind him. So the first one, we're going to say, just completely shatters this pedestal. The glass itself doesn't break, but the pedestal itself explodes. There's now just a cloud of smoke just covering the entire place. You guys can't see anything. Finally, when the smoke dissipates, you see this apron Lumpen standing there completely unharmed, just staring down at this wand in his cloth hand. You now see the other Lumpen that was inside. He is rolling around on the ground, somewhat in flames, and the coffin itself is now, it's all the roses and everything is on fire. He's definitely warm now, and he's still not rising up, though.
Do I take any hit point damage for that?
Yeah, we're going to say you take 1d6 fire damage.
Can I use Druidcraft to snuff out a small flame on a small creature?
Yeah, well, you can use Druidcraft. You take 5 hit points. So I
Okay,
think
I'm down.
I'm looking at
Oh my god.
so you're down, and so you see he goes limp. You're able to dissipate the flames, but he is just kind of like a burned up mess at the moment.
Fiery Lumpin, you still have that chunk of leather?
Can Fiery Lumpen respond? Or has he been obliterated in the same blast?
No, he's just standing there fine, just completely unfazed.
I sure do. And
Toss it down here.
so I cut a chunk, cut the remainder of the chunk and throw it down. And as it's going down, you see Fire Lumpen look around at the flames on the body, and he's thinking to himself, oh, maybe not so much fire. And you just see the fire coalesce into the shape of Mun's body in front, and then slowly start to shrink down. Maybe that was too much fire.
Maybe he wanted a cremation.
So I'm going to catch the scrap of leather and pull the magical needle out of my torso. I'm going to patch you up, buddy. And I'll try to patch him up and wherever the fire holes were.
That's the sound of my smoldering corpse.
Okay. All right, roll a sleight of hand check for me.
Sleight of hand.
Yeah. Or a medicine check. You can do
Medicine would be good. That is an 18.
that. All right. So you're able to repair him. Fancy Napkin Lumpen. You kind of awake. You now have your 5 hit points back. But you feel different. You don't feel quite the same as you did a second ago. You feel a strange kind of love of fire that you didn't before. And a strange kinship with this Lumpen that just exploded you a second ago. but you are now awake and alive with a song still beating in your fabric heart.
So I prop myself up on my cloth elbow and I say, "Hi, I'm Lumpen.
Hi, I'm Lumpen too.
Hi, Lumpet.
Nice to meet you."
That's Lumpen over there. And that over there is Lumpen.
I wave.
And that over there is Lumpin too.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
You doing okay, buddy?
What happened?
Well, you were locked up in a jar, and Lumpen over there, very successfully, I think, got you out.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I had to, you went down, you got a little burned, so I used a scrap of him to patch you up. But you're good as new now.
Oh, thank you. Where are we?
I was hoping you'd be able to tell us. Any idea why you were trapped in that, bolted down jar?
Well, all I can remember is being at a wonderful dinner party.
That sounds real fun. Were we there?
Well, I don't remember very clearly. I only have the impression of delicious food and a beautiful table set. And people talking all around me.
As you say this, Napkin Lumpin, another stroke of thunder that you hadn't been able to hear before, you hear it above you now, just kind of rocks the entire room from somewhere above you.
I think we should maybe see what that thunder is about. I'd be kind of worried. Because,
Is thunder bad?
Can any of you understand thunder? I can talk to fire, but I can't understand thunder unless it makes lightning, and then I can understand that when it strikes something.
What is thunder?
It is noise.
Up there?
Noise. I know noise. There was a big noise when you shot the fireball. Is that thunder?
No, thunder is noise coming from upstairs.
Oh,
It's not quite like the fireball, but it's kind of like it. Thunder is like when you hit something together that's really, really loud and clangy, but there's no clang. And then Fire Lumpin will go over and he'll pick up the two spoons. And he just goes, maybe you could, thunder is kind of like this. And he starts smashing the spoons together. And then getting louder and louder and saying, "This is what thunder is like."
Oh, I like that sound. Those look familiar.
Yeah, you definitely feel a strange kinship to these. They're like spoons, but they have like kind of weird points at the end of the spoons.
Oh, I like those.
You feel a kinship.
I kind of drift over. So I imagine my Lumpen as kind of like a Japanese toy or craft decoration called a teru teru bozu, and it kind of looks like a tissue ghost that you might make in elementary school or something, with like the big round head and then just kind of like the tissue bottom. So I imagine myself as not really having legs, but maybe having like a cloth kind of like ghost bottom, or what might look like a dress or something.
Yeah, sure.
So I kind of slide over to where the... Sorry, Pudge, you're the fire goblin? Fire Lumpen.
The slightly
Is that right?
singed Fire Lumpin.
Okay. So I kind of glide over to where you are and reach out to try to take the spoons from you.
And you see Fire Lumpin, he's about to smash the spoons again. And he's, "Oh, okay." And he gives you the spoons. And he's just looking excitedly. Because he was really getting to like that sound.
Oh, thank you. And I start clacking the spoons together myself. Like...
Take a 5-minute break for a Lumpen dance party.
Yeah, everything. It just moves you. All of you just feel this incredible urge to dance. You can roll a Constitution saving throw to resist if you'd like, but
Can we choose to fail?
yeah. So yeah, he is quite proficient at banging these kind of pointed spoons together.
Well, we were just going to go upstairs. You want to join us?
Yeah, of course. But who are you? Do you remember where you are?
I think I said I'm Lumpen. Did I forget that? We don't know where we are.
Well, where did you come from?
Well, I found this note, and it says something about rag golem experiments. So I think we were created in order to save the world. We have a mission. I think it's from this Mun person over here in the coffin, but he's not moving.
So we are heroes?
I think we're potential heroes. But maybe we can wake up this Mun guy and ask him.
Should I make thunder to wake him up?
Maybe later.
So you guys now all together collectively look over back towards the body, and it's just an incinerated mess, mostly.
I thought Fire Lumpen like controlled it.
Did you try sewing some leather on him?
Yeah, he was able to get some of but after the body was burning for a while before the smoke cleared, and he got hit by a fireball. It went out like Finn, basically. Sorry.
Too soon.
Too soon.
Spoilers.
And so this, sorry for those still listening to season 1. This body, it does not look capable of now assisting you guys any further. You're able to surmise that much, that it's probably not going to be helpful.
All right. Never mind the horror movie leather experiment then.
I mean, we could go try and find some more leather to stitch up to him to replace what we burned off.
Please, dear gosh, no.
I mean, we
leave this poor body alone, you monsters.
I mean, we only need to cover what's burned off. So, we could be heroes. Just for one day.
Let us look upstairs.
Boo.
Perhaps something there can be useful.
Yeah.
All right. As you guys move up these stairs, well, first off, Ryan, you also know the fire spell cantrip.
Oh.
Or firebolt. Yeah, I think it's called firebolt. But as you guys are walking towards the stairs, you discover another note that seems to have kind of flown over here. It's a little singed from all this fire that's been going on, but I'll write it, and we'll say the Fire Lumpen discovers this one. And I'm going to post it in the Zoom.
So Fire Lumpen picks up this singed note, and he dusts off the side because there's embers starting to reignite. Okay, Rag Golem Experiment, Day 14. Despite Lumpen Prime's success with the party, I cannot help but wonder if a more stalwart or intelligent duplicate could be created. Perhaps by adding different materials to the composition. What material removes naivety?
Wait a minute. You mentioned a party? Are you Lumpen Prime?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Did the dinner party seem successful?
The food looked pretty good.
Maybe it's Lumpen Prime for Lumpen Prime Rib. All right, you guys will, as you ponder these mysteries, you make your way up towards the stairs and you see a trapdoor hooked into the ceiling.
How far off the ground is it?
It's only like a foot off of the ground. You're able to reach it quite easily.
We do so.
So we don't need to go on each other's shoulders?
Actually, we're going to retcon a little bit. It's about 5 feet off of the stairs.
Oh,
so
no.
yeah, you're all going to need to sit on each other's shoulders, because that's adorable.
Iron Lumpen's gonna walk up to Under and say, "Climb on me. I will hold you up. You all push."
Just stack up on each other.
Yep.
Give it a try.
Yep.
Wait, is this a push door or a pull door?
Yeah,
I would
that's
think,
an important
are
question.
trap doors ever pull doors from the bottom?
Like an attic door?
I guess it could be a literal trap door, like for someone to fall through.
You're able to use your knowledge of writing to see a little plaque on it that says, "Push."
All right, we give it a shove.
So as you shove it open, you stand. I won't make you roll for it. You stand on each other's adorable shoulders, and you push up. As you emerge upwards into the next room, you see that this trapdoor was just covered by just a very conspicuous throw blanket. It just really didn't match with the rest of the decor, but it was obviously just put over here to hide this trapdoor underneath.
I introduce myself to the blanket.
Oh, nice to meet you. I'm Lumpen.
It says nothing. As you emerge from the trapdoor, you first notice that the trapdoor was concealed by the conspicuous throw rug. After this, you find yourself in a room which is much more mysterious. Perhaps the most notable distinction is the loud piano music, which you immediately find yourself listening to. You can see in the corner what appears to be a giant black grand piano playing a sinister tune completely by itself. After turning your attention away from the piano, you notice that there are several sections of the stone floor and walls which seem to have been either charred or scratched, with one section even having a patch of still frozen ice on it, with water vapor steaming off of it. Besides that wall, there is another wall which contains a bookshelf stacked with strange books and scrolls. You also notice several crates along the room, as well as several more glass display cases, such as those which were in the previous room holding the dinner napkin Lumpen. Many of them contain strange and unique items. For instance, in one you see a floating deck of cards. In another, you see what appears to be a severed human hand that seems to be still alive, crawling along the glass. There are swords, shields, capes, cloaks, pieces of armor. One shield in particular seems to have glowing red eyes that follow you across the room. As you peer at all these strange devices, listening to this creepy piano music playing, you also hear the thunder emitting from you somewhere above, although now, as you get closer to it, it seems to sound less like thunder and more like a huge pounding noise. Exactly like that.
That's the piano.
Oh, thank you. I thought you were doing the thunder noise. I was like, that's not what I pictured, but you know what? All right. But you do also see the hand that's in one of these jars. It seems to be tapping the glass in a similar way to where the Lumpen downstairs was.
I'm gonna point and say, look, strange Lumpen.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Looks like it wants to get out too.
maybe that's the hand for the guy downstairs.
Was he missing a hand?
I don't know. Maybe if we sew it on, it'll help him feel better.
It does look like same stuff that man downstairs was made of.
I think we need a lot more body parts to fix him.
But he is kind of burned, so I mean, we could just sew that bit onto him.
Well, let's get it out of the jar and ask if it wants to be sewn on.
Yeah, the explosion downstairs seemed to have triggered something where all these locks on these cases, they've all just popped open. You can easily open any one of these cases.
Well, let's give it a shot. And it cast Thorn Whip on the jar and pull the jar off of the hand.
Okay, so the jar comes flying off of it and shatters against the floor. And this hand kind of crawls down, was it Adam's family? Or that, yeah, the kind of hand thing crawls down to you, and then it goes up onto its stump, and it talks to you using kind of like how you would a hand puppet, like opening and closing its hand in order to speak.
Nice.
And it says to you,
I thanketh thee for thine assistance. Perchance I mayest assist thee on thine ragman's quest. Unfortunately, I am but a kind and loving, humble hand, and unable to divine the faces of my rescuers. All I requirest in return for mine assistance is release from this infernal oubliette.
Hi, I'm Lumpen.
Hi, I am Lumpen.
I'm Lumpen.
Hi, I'm Lumpen.
Yeah, we're all Lumpen.
Nice to meet you.
Greetings, Lumpens. I am the immortal hand of the great Lich
and then it pauses in a second and it kind of like stops and it seems to think for a second and it goes,
I meanest. My name is, Handrew.
Immortal.
Very pleased to meet you, Andrew. We're on a quest to save the world. Do you have any idea what we're supposed to save it from?
Certainly not just I. I would be glad to join us thou on thy quest. To, you said save the world? Okay, yeah, save the world, yes.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Great.
Is there, do does thou see ways to escape this oubliette?
Not yet.
What's an oubliette?
Yeah. Does thou not know what an oubliette is?
We might have forgotten.
I don't know.
It's a prison with a trapdoor. I see much has changed during the time of my imprisonment.
Trapdoor, not so hard.
Yeah, so Handra at this point starts crawling around. He's looking for something that will help you guys. You notice very quickly that there is no sort of stairs in this room, no sort of trapdoor anywhere around that you can see. There doesn't seem to be any exit, and yet you still hear this pounding, thundering noise from up above, with the creepy piano music still playing in the background.
Is the piano in this room, or we just hear the music?
It's in this room. You see it's playing all by itself. And I will say, you do see there's plaques on each of these items, and even on the piano itself. There's plaques all over the place on each of these glass containers and pedestals.
What did the plaque say for Handrew?
It said, "The Hand of Avarok."
Andrew, look, your plaque is mislabeled.
Oh, yeah, I have been meaningest to fix that. Ignore it. Thy quest is of great import.
Okay.
It's okay, Andrew. And you see Fire Lumpen just walk over and press his hands against it. And you see Handrew scroll atop and flash.
The hand gives you a thumbs up, and then keeps going, crawling along, looking for some sort of clue.
Fancy Napkin Lumpkin glides over to the piano and reaches out an edge of his arm and says, "Hi, I'm Lumpen. Nice to meet you."
The piano does not respond. It keeps playing. Roll an intelligence check for me, Fancy Napkin Lumpin.
Can someone roll a d20 for me?
Sure. I rolled a 10.
I get 9.
Oof.
You're pretty sure this plaque on the piano, it says something about fire maybe and a piano and maybe playing cards. It's kind of confusing.
Okay. When I read the word fire, can my firebolt cantrip that I just learned trigger automatically? Just trigger
Sure. Yes.
by accident?
You accidentally just you read the word fire, and you just feel yourself pointing towards this piano, and it erupts into flames in an explosion of strings, and it stops playing.
Fire. Whoa!
You find yourself not very fazed by this fire now. It seems to bring you warmth and comfort, but not the same sort of terror that it brought on before.
Oh, that's actually kind of nice. Does the music stop or does it keep going?
Yeah, the music's gone. No, it's done. This piano, it's wrecked. There's all these piano keys have flown everywhere. It's a mess.
That's a shame. I was enjoying that.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Did you happen to catch what it said on the plaque before you blew it up?
It said fire.
well, you used fire, and it caught fire, so maybe it was supposed to do that.
Yeah, maybe.
I'll just tell you guys, out of character, it was the piano of infernal incessantness. So he saw the infernal part, and it really spoke fire.
Well, there's no exits in this room. Maybe we should look at the other objects that are in the glass. I want to take a look at the playing cards.
Okay, so you find you open up these playing cards. They're kind of floating above the pedestal a little bit, and as you grab them, you kind of feel yourself wanting to say a number.
All right, I'm gonna roll d6. 5.
Okay. Oh gosh. So you say 5. You draw 5 cards. And
oh no.
We're going to see what happens real quick. So you draw 5 cards.
This isn't a deck of many things, is it?
Must be.
The plaque on this pedestal, it reads, "The deck of several things."
Excellent.
So I need you to roll a d10 5 times.
Ominous.
Okay. Yeah, this is not gonna. I hope There's a backup Lumpen for me. 3, 6, 5.
Oh wait, sorry. You can roll a d20 5 times.
Oh, d20. Okay.
Yeah, and then I need to write it down which numbers you get.
Okay. 3.
Okay.
5.
Okay.
8.
Okay.
Weak rolls. 14.
Okay.
20.
Ooh.
Oh, perfect. This is going to be pretty wild. Pretty wild. So this is a deck of many things.
Oh god.
And let's see. Let's do the first one was a 5, you said?
3, 5, 8, 14,
3.
20. So 3 first.
So the first one was a moon, and you are you feel yourself granted with the ability to cast the wish spell. 1d3 times.
Oh,
so roll a d3 for me.
Okay, I'll have Google roll me a d3. Roll 1d3.
All right, and while you're doing that, I'm gonna figure out what these other ones do. So that was a 3.
I got a 2.
Okay, so you feel yourself able to cast the wish spell 2 times.
Nice.
The second one was a 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So a comet. You realize that if you single-handedly defeat the next hostile monster or group of monsters you encounter, you gain experience points enough to gain 1 level. Otherwise, this card has no effect.
Okay.
So if you beat whatever monster is coming up completely by yourself, you feel like you'd really gain some insight from it. Man, this has not been bad at all.
Oh, don't jinx it.
Oh, sorry. What was the next number?
8.
8. Okay. It's a key. Oh man. A rare or rarer magic weapon with which you are proficient appears in your hands. So,
Whoa.
so you feel like this kind of like your stick, all of a sudden it just transforms. I'm gonna look up a list of list of rare magic weapons. Brandon, why don't you, while I'm finding the next one, why don't you look up rare magic items in 5e and just pick the effect for this stick that it now has.
I mean, the logical thing for a stick transforming for a druid might be the Staff of the Woodlands, but that may be a bit too rare. I'm not sure.
No, it's perfect. Go for it. All right.
By the end of this, we're going to have to rename you God Lumpen.
All right, that was 8, right?
That was 8, yeah.
All right, so now let's go 14.
God.
Watch, it's just going to be a few more wish spells. We'll see. Oh, gosh. All right, we're going to wait on this one for about a second, and then we're going to see what the 20 was right before we'll say the 20 came first, because that's about to be kind of crazy. The Joker, the Jester.
Oh.
It is... you gain 10,000 experience, or you can draw two additional cards beyond your declared draws. So we'll say, what is a normal level for who else is a DM? What's the level between 1 and 2?
I'm looking it up. I don't remember.
Experience.
God, where's leveling up?
That's bizarre.
Because I know it's like 900. Okay, 10,000 will get you to level 5. No.
So, okay, 300, 927. Oh, wait, so 10,000 would get me
4?
Yeah.
to level 5, halfway to level 6.
All right. So Brandon, I'm going to let you just now figure out how you're going to level up this Lumpen to level 5.
Oh,
and as he does this, you see him just start to glow with this ethereal glow. His staff stretches out to this magical. He feels like he has this wish spell and all that stuff. And then he just disappears. He's just gone.
What's going on over there?
Lumpen?
Lumpen?
Lumpen.
Lumpen?
Where's Lumpen?
He's completely gone from this room. So at this point, Brandon, you now find yourself standing before what appears to be some sort of genie. It looks down at you, and you find yourself in a state of suspended animation in an extra-dimensional sphere. Everything you were wearing or carrying stands behind in the space you occupied where you disappeared. So you guys see his staff now is standing there, everything else gone. You remain imprisoned until you are found and removed from the sphere. You can't be located by any divination magic, but a wish spell can reveal the location of your prison. You draw no more cards.
Okay, but am I able to like speak and stuff?
Yeah, you're able to speak.
I wish I was back with my friends.
All of a sudden, the Lumpen appears right back with you guys.
Lumpen, you're back.
One wish left. I don't know what happened. There was a genie, and I feel a lot stronger. Whoa! Don't touch those cards.
Yeah, the cards as you say that, all of them just like incinerate and go up in smoke and are gone.
Yeah.
Was that his second wish?
That was
No, he didn't wish for anything, and he just said don't touch those cards. So
Okay.
I won't count that as I won't monkey spy you.
Whoa. Some of my fabric must have caught fire or something, because...
Yeah, you feel weird. There's been a lot going on.
Am I smoking?
Yes, you just see this like golden aura just like shining off of your body. But the rest of you guys, what would you like to do during this time?
Can you remind me real quick? In the room we woke up in, were there any other exits other than the stairs?
No, there was just the stairs leading upwards.
You said there's a flying shield with red eyes, is that right?
Yeah, it's appearing at you.
Okay, fancy napkin Lumpen glides over to the shield with the glowing eyes and says, "Hi, I'm Lumpen."
It just stares menacingly at you.
I reach out to shake its hand.
It looks at your hand, but it has no hands.
I touch it.
You feel like a strange sort of darkness infiltrate you. And you start to have thoughts that are like a little bit darker than they were before. Like you're like, man, what could I use that fire spell for? And but otherwise, nothing happens.
Oh, okay. Don't shake my hand then.
Yeah, it doesn't shake your hands.
Is the cape still flying around?
Yeah, there's a cape flying around. There's other cape that seems to like go in and out of reality. There's one that kind of looks like plants and leaves and stuff like that. One that kind of looks like some sort of fish.
I'm going to point at Iron Lumpen and say, "Hey, do you think that cape could help us get out of here?"
Fine cape. Makes sense. I will catch. And I'll try to jump up and grab it.
Is it a Lumpen too?
You're able to grab it. It tries to fly away a little bit, but it doesn't do anything else.
As he jumps up to grab the cape, Fire Lumpen is going to help him by casting Catapult on Iron Lumpen. So Catapult makes the object fly in a straight line for up to 90 feet. So I'm going to fire Iron Lumpen straight at the cape and try and get a couple of capes in one go. And he's going to say, let's get as many as we can.
So you're just grabbing all the different cloaks?
Yeah.
Yep, you just grab them, and they're all kind of seem to be doing different things. You're able to grab them.
How high is the ceiling here?
It's about 10 feet high.
Okay. Okay, and the capes, as I'm holding all the capes, they're not lifting me up. They're not strong enough, or they're not trying to.
No, they're not. It's not trying to float away with you. It seems like it wants to fly and be free. That one cape, but the rest of them, they were all like on different sets of armor and stuff. It was only the one cape that was floating. The rest were just like kind of scattered around, either on the floor or on like a mannequin.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Are there windows?
There are no windows. And you once again hear this thunder come from up above.
Strange.
And there, just to describe what's in this room, there's more of the glass containers, there's weapons, there's the shields, there's these cloaks. There's also this huge bookshelf over on one side of the wall that has all kinds of books and scrolls all around it.
Alright, I'm gonna try casting Detect Magic, just to see if there's any not so obvious magical things here. Maybe there's a way out.
You cast Detect Magic. All right, take roll 1d3.
D3. That is a 1.
You take 1 psychic damage as you are overwhelmed by the amount of magic in this room.
Okay, I'm down to 27 hit points now because of my advanced level.
Oh, God. Can I try to I'm gonna try and hold this kind of flying cape under my arm. Can I try and climb up the bookshelf to look up at the, see if I can kind of look at the ceiling in more detail?
Yes, you do so. You climb up the bookshelf, and it's a lot easier to climb because this thing's kind of like pulling you upwards as well. You see, as you're climbing, you see a lot of strange different books. You see one that says The Rise and Fall of the Lich Avarok. You see one that says How to Kill a Mockingbird Using Vicious Mockery. You see one that says My Autobiography by Mun the Immortal. You see another one that it's some sort of scroll that says Power Word Kill.
What's everyone's int? Because mine is 6. So I'm gonna completely, I'm not even sure if I'm if I can make the connection between the fact that Mun the Immortal is the same person we saw downstairs.
Right. My intelligence is 9, but my wisdom's 14.
Has it gone up at all, Brandon?
Oh, yeah, I actually get a ability scoring improvement. So my wisdom's 16.
I'm intelligence 8, wisdom 6.
Yeah, this is why you guys incinerated your dad earlier.
All right, I'm gonna keep climbing past this. I don't think that Iron Lumpen would put 2 and 2 together.
Okay. So there's 2 more books that you pass as you go, but you don't really care. One says A Beginner's Guide to Secret Doors, and the other says Fahrenheit 4051, an index of fire elementals. And as you climb up, and you can't really see anything else on the top. However, you do see amidst another journal article. I'll send this to you, Iron Lumpen. It's sticking out from amidst the rest of these books.
I'm gonna pull out and read. Rag Golem. Oh, it is another note. Rag Golem experiment, day 2. I do not know why I am so consumed with this particular experiment, but after seeing the success of Lumpen, I am Lumpen, with the adventuring party. Oh, I am not Lumpen. The Tara.
so much existential crisis.
The Tararists. I have begun preparations to restore a torn piece of Lumpen's fabric, which I theorize will create an entirely new Lumpen, a clone of the original. I am most curious as to how this Lumpen will differ from Lumpen Prime, if at all. Huh. Okay. I'm gonna quickly check the ceiling. Then I'm gonna climb down and go to the rest of the Lumpens and say, I found a note. And I'll read the note back to them and say, there is much else on the bookshelf.
What's a terrorist?
I do not know.
Are we terrorists?
No, we are Lumpens.
Someone who commits acts of Tara, I guess.
It's a party, so that sounds like you, Lumpen.
Oh, like the party I was at.
But they're adventurers, so that could be like heroes, like you saw in your note, Lumpen, as I point to God Lumpen.
So wait, this note is suggesting that there is an original Lumpen, a Lumpen Prime. Are we all cut from the same cloth as this original Lumpen? Wait. What would can we create our own Lumpens?
I
look over at the flying cloak.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold the cloak out to you.
And cut a little piece, just a snip off of myself, and sew it to the flying cloak. See what happens.
Okay. It doesn't seem to do anything at the moment.
What about Iron Lumpen? What if I sewed it to you?
Let us give it a shot. I kind of hold out my arm so you can kind of sew it to me.
Oh, yeah, I'll do that. Maybe just a chunk of the flying fabric onto Iron Lumpen. The same chunk that has a bit of me on it.
Okay, gotcha. So we'll say you can use an action now, Iron Lumpen, to fly or hover just a little bit, and you have a flying speed now of 20.
Ooh. I immediately hover off the ground and say, look, I learned a new trick.
Cool.
And you also feel a strange connection to nature as well.
Oh.
Wait, so can we do this to all of us? Can we each take a bit of flying fabric? Give it a try.
So we'll fast forward here. The little 5 minutes later screen flashes, and now you see a bunch of lumpkins just fluttering around the room.
Just flying with glee, laughing.
Yep.
With the SpongeBob SquarePants voice. 5 minutes later.
Exactly.
You see Fire Lumpen casting Firebolt beneath his hands to jet around the place and control where he's flying to.
Nice.
And as he's flying past the bookcase, he sees the book on Mun, and then directly next to it the book on Secret Doors, and he just stops and hovers over the scroll of Power Word Kill with the firebolt still going. Hey, there's a book here about Mun and about Secret Doors. And he's not noticing the fact that the scroll is starting to singe, and you just see little embers catch on the scroll.
Yeah,
Probably
the scrolls. You suddenly notice as this scroll is going up in flames in your hand.
So, what's Andrew doing while all of this is going on?
Yeah, Andrew has just been watching with just bafflement, as he's not able to really see, but he's able to kind of psychically divine kind of a little bit what's going on, and he's just been kind of shaking his hand at you guys. But then he's been crawling around the bookcase, and you hear him just periodically kind of open up books and look at them, and you hear him go,
Yes. Yes.
Andrew seems happy. There must be something really nice about these books. Hey, can you pass that Secret Door one down to me?
Fire Lumpen is going to once he sees the scroll catch fire, he's going to try and bat it out, but he forgets that he's casting Firebolt. So he keeps the firebolts are still in his hand, so every time he hits it, it just catches more and more on fire.
Yeah, so as he's doing this too, it just kind of starts to light the bookshelf a little bit on fire, and the flames are now starting to spread, and you see the you're trying to grab these books, but your hands still have these flames on them, and so you see the biography start to catch flame, autobiography, as well as the guide to Secret Doors.
I cast Create Water.
So you splash the whole thing in water, and several books go tumbling. And however, as all this ruckus was happening, you see behind the one Mun's autobiography, you see some sort of keyhole. It's square in shape and kind of long and rectangular. It was behind the book, and it is now there. And Andrew comes up and he goes,
Ah, quite interesting.
Do you know where this key is, Andrew?
and he says to you,
A pox. Alas, I knowest not what thou seekest. Mine memory stirs, however, recollecting a time the Lord Mun spoketh with me, shortly before interring me in mine accursed glass prison. Indeed, I do believe he spake of a pure white key, used to unlock the chambers beyond.
But we don't know what it looked like?
A pure white key seems to be square in shape, if mine senses do not deceivest me.
Does anything in this room match that description?
roll an investigation check for me.
Can we all roll, or?
Yeah, you can all roll.
Or perhaps the wand fireball isn't pure white, is it?
Nope.
Okay. I got 11.
13.
Okay. What'd the rest of you guys get as far as your investigations?
I got a 14.
Let's see. If we don't have investigation skill,
It's just your...
what is it?
Your intelligence
Yeah,
mod.
it's just
Okay,
your intelligence.
then I got 12.
All right, you guys see a few things that kind of match the description. You see like a few sticks and other like shattered pieces of bookshelf that might fit. You see some iron things that might fit. You see that, I mean, the piano's all destroyed, so there may be pieces of the piano that might fit in there.
Wait a second. Piano keys? Do the piano keys match the hole?
You look and you think, yeah, they probably would match that hole.
Grab one. Do I still have detect magic going? Is there a magical key in the piano?
No, they're all...
Grab one at random then.
You turned off the detect magic as soon as your brain exploded with the magic.
All right, I'll grab a random piano key and try to jam it in there.
All right, it works. It clicks, and all of a sudden this bookshelf, who is standing near the bookshelf?
I think we all are.
Yeah.
Okay. So it just flips. It does the thing in the movies where it does like the turn, and all of you guys are in the range, and you all turn with this bookshelf, and you find yourselves now in a completely new room. And Andrew you hear him go, "Ah!" Once again, the party witnesses a strange sight upon finally entering this room. Over the rhythmic pounding of what now seems to be less and less like thunder, the party sees the room to be almost a combination of both an armory and a conservatory. Great vines and plants with bright flowers budding out tower out above the rag golems. Yet amidst the plants there also stands various suits of armor, 6 suits of armor in total, each with varied states of wholeness. The ones which have helmets almost seem to be leering down at the party with dark malice in their empty visors. A strong stench also consumes the room. I don't know if you have a nose and would really notice that. We'll say the fancy napkin, you're able to notice a stench. Okay. Everybody else doesn't really have that type of sense. And you see that there does seem to be a chamber pot over in the corner, but this is obviously not the source of the smell, as it appears to not have been used in a very long time. While all of this is quite interesting, the scene which draws the most focus is the strange figure who seems to be poring over a tome on a small wooden lectern over in the corner. The figure wears dark, rain-drenched clothing. His skin is a mottled gray. His head is completely bald. You cannot see his face as his back is turned towards you. But you also notice 2 jagged ears jutting out from the sides of his head. He seems to be muttering something as he turns the worn pages of the tome. You are unable to understand what he is saying, but it is not hard to determine that he is frustrated.
Does he have both his hands?
He has both of his hands.
Okay.
Good question.
Oh, something smells like burning dinner.
As you say this, the figure turns around, but now he looks less like this gray mottled figure that you saw before, and he's got like a friendly smile on. He's got kind of like pasty skin. He's got nicely groomed blonde hair, and he goes, "Well, hey there, howdy. What are you little fellas?"
We're Lumpen.
I'm Lumpen, he's Lumpen, he's Lumpen, and he's Lumpen.
Except him.
And he's Andrew.
And Andrew waves at this point. "Oh, alrighty. Hey, how did y'all get in here? Well, I've been looking to try and, get a little further down, and where did you all come from?"
We live here, I think.
We have always been here.
We came from back there.
We came from Jars.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, little ragman, I kind of need to find some other things in here. Can you, I need you to show me, where you came from right now, if you don't mind. And at this point, we'll start out with Fire Lumpen. Roll a d20 for me.
And that one.
All right. You just hear this pounding continue up above, and he kind of turns and looks at it with a little bit of a glint of fear in his eyes. He goes, "All right, I need y'all to hurry up, please. Just show me where the next room is."
Does this guy seem like we should trust him? Could I roll some insight against him?
Yeah, you can roll an insight.
Yeah, all right. My insight is much better now that I'm level 5. 14.
Yeah, more and more he talks, he's starting to seem a little shady. He also keeps calling you like ragmen, which isn't a very polite way to address you.
That's I've only been alive like a couple of hours, but it feels like a slur. and I don't appreciate it. Maybe you can start by telling us what's going on.
What is your name?
As Iron Lumpen asks him, he picks up Iron Lumpen and he goes, "Listen, little rag boy, I need to get to the next area, and I need your help, if you don't mind. I mean, y'all, if you don't mind, I could use your help, please." And he's just kind of holding you a bit more intimidatingly than you thought.
What was the state of the fire in the room we just left, like right before we left? Was it like raging uncontrollably?
Yeah, it was starting to kind of rage a little bit more down in this room behind you.
Oh, I thought I cast Create Water to stop it.
Oh no, yeah, that's sorry. I retconned that. Yes, you did. You were able to douse the flames, and there's just a little bit of ash and embers, but everything is under control.
I don't appreciate the way you're holding my friend, pal.
Yeah, Iron Lumpen is, I think for the first time in his admittedly very short life, is beginning to feel a stir of anger at being manhandled like this. And he's going to say, "You must put me down."
Oh, sorry, boy. Yeah, I'm sorry. And he kind of dusts you off a little bit and sets you down. All right, look, I'm here, and I'd really like to. I need to get through here, and so I'm gonna just go on. And so he just kind of shoves you guys out of the way, and he starts kind of pushing on this bookshelf that has now appeared and trying to like figure out how he can get it to turn or do whatever it is that brought you guys here in the first place.
Excuse me, we need to save the world. Where's the exit?
He just kind of like mutters and he like motions back behind him.
I don't think you're supposed to be here, pal. And I feel like we should probably stop you.
And he turns around now, and his eyes are kind of glowing this dull yellow. What did you say?
I said if you don't mind, either maybe you could explain what you're doing here, but if you're not supposed to be here, I think we should stop you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Here. I can show you a note that tells you why I'm here. And he is going to stab you.
Oh my god.
Roll a dexterity saving throw for me, Lumpen.
I was expecting something like this. 14.
All right. So I'm going to roll, and he's going to attack with advantage because he gets advantage on ambushes.
Oh, come on. I was expecting this.
That's true. I'll just give it here. I'll take away. He would have hit. I'm going to roll one more time. I'll roll without advantage. And because we'll say it wasn't quite an ambush, you were expecting it. Oh, so he gets, what is your AC? 10. So he hits. What is your health at now?
27.
Okay. you take 5 piercing damage as his claws dice you in half, and you feel your body just kind of not completely in half, but he slices off a piece of you, a small piece. And then he's now going to use his bonus action to try and hide. But at this point, everybody can roll me initiative.
All right.
Lucky dice.
Ooh, natural 20.
13 for Iron Lumpen.
11 for Fire Lumpen.
16 for Fancy Napkin Lumpen.
Okay. All right, so he went first. Now, Brandon, what would you like to do?
Well, since I'm level 5 suddenly, as a bonus action, I'm going to use my wild shape.
Okay.
And you'll see the same kind of horrific transformation that you saw at the very beginning, but much quicker and much nastier, because instead of transforming into a large, adorable, stuffed puppy, Lumpen turns into a much larger, like more cloth sort of billows out, forming lumps of thickly stuffed muscle. The fabric is bursting at the seams, and he turns into a still kind of adorable in the right light, but kind of also frightening looking patchwork direwolf with still mismatched button eyes. And he opens his mouth filled with sewing needles and jumps at this guy.
Gotcha. Okay. So, So he's trying to hide at the moment. So roll a perception check for me as you attack him.
Okay, that is a 19.
All right, so you see him kind of duck behind one of these kind of above ground gardens that has all these plants and vines inside of it. And you kind of follow him and you hunt him down and you just dig into him. Roll
Attack?
Yeah, attack for me.
Am I within 5 feet of a friend?
We'll say at this point you are no longer within 5 feet of a friend
Okay.
because he kind of went and hid.
No advantage then. 19 to hit.
That hits.
That's going to be 10 piercing damage.
Okay, he felt that one.
Needle damage.
Okay.
Leaving some of them embedded in his skin.
Okay, perfect.
And he's going to need a strength saving throw to avoid being knocked down.
Okay. He rolled a 7.
That he's down.
All right, he is now on the ground, prone. At this point, he's going to use, however, one of his legendary actions.
Oh no.
And he is going to all of a sudden disappear in just kind of a smoke cloud. And he is gone. You're not sure where he's at the moment. All right. Next up, Ryan, or Fancy Napkin Lumpin.
So I can't see him right now?
He's not visible right now. You can roll a perception check to find him.
For Vicious Mockery, do I need to be able to see someone to cast it? Or do they just need to hear me?
It's a great question. I think they just need to hear you
Okay.
and be able to understand you.
I can look it up if you want.
Okay.
A creature you can see.
Okay, so I need to see him.
Yep. You can roll a perception check to find him.
I'm going to start clacking my spoons together.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, I'm going to use thunder to help us. And I guess I'm giving bardic inspiration to Brendan. To
Okay.
Alright.
God Lumpen. God Lumpen.
Gotcha. All right. Is this the end of your turn?
I guess so. Can I also try to spot him, or?
Yeah. You can try and spot him as well.
Okay. Is that like a full action to try to spot him? Or?
Well, you used your bonus action to use bardic inspiration, so this can be your main action.
Okay. Let's see. So what stat do I use? Intelligence?
Wisdom, I think, for perception.
Wisdom.
Oh, that's not good.
I mean, no intelligence, definitely intelligence.
I got 12.
Okay, yeah, you don't see him. However, at the end of your turn, he's going to use another legendary action. And all of a sudden, you guys see him. He's on a completely different corner than what you'd expect. He's kind of standing over there. He is holding a puppy in his hands. And he goes, let me go where the puppy gets it. And he holds his dagger, and the puppy is just whimpering.
Oh my god.
Someone stop him. He's going to eat that animal.
Oh no. Oh no.
It's
Poor
Iron
puppy.
Lumpin's turn.
Does Iron Lumpen care about puppies? Does he understand what's actually happening? How far away from me is he?
He is, we'll say now he's a little bit closer to you than you expected. He's about 20 feet away from you.
20 feet away. That is perfect. Iron Lumpen is gonna look at him and he's gonna yell, "You stop picking things up that you should not pick up." So I'm going to. I'm going to run at him. Actually, let's see. I'm going to go into a rage because Lumpen is fully embracing the anger that he has felt for the very first time, and he's going to recklessly attack him and try to, just try to make him drop the puppy.
What's your weapon?
I have an axe that I picked up from the tabletop in the very first room. Okay, so I'm reckless attack, so I have advantage. I'm also raging, which means okay, so I get bonus. Oh, I don't get. Let's see, I get advantage. Sorry, I get plus damage with weapons and resistance. Okay, but I'm definitely attacking with advantage, which is nice. Which is 20, 18 plus 2 for my strength attack.
Okay. So you swing into him, and your axe goes straight through him.
Oh no!
And you kind of rush through him, and you kind of smack up against the wall on the other side. And you just rush straight through him, and it doesn't seem to be corporeal.
Oh no! What's Iron Lumpen gonna say? He's gonna grunt and hit the wall.
Gotcha. All right, Fire Lumpin, it's your turn.
Fire Lumpin is going to look around real hard to see if he can spot the wizard or whatever he is. He's presuming that he's a wizard.
Yeah.
So that is a 8.
It is unsuccessful.
Then he's going to need to do some quick math. How big is this room?
Oh no.
We'll say it's about. Oh gosh, that's a terrifying question. We're gonna say it's about 30 feet by 30 feet. It's a square. You guys came from the east side. Iron Lumpen is now on the north side, and then the wolf is on the west side.
We should have all taken fire lumping patches.
Fire Lumpen is going to quickly cut a piece of himself off. Does Fancy Napkin already have a piece of the fire?
Yeah.
I patched him up with you at the very start.
He's good.
Who doesn't have a piece of me?
The rest of us.
Who wants a piece of me?
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, so Fire Lumpen is then going to cut 2 pieces of himself off and throw them at the dog, Dire Wolf Lumpen, and he's going to throw another piece of himself at Iron Lumpen, and he's going to say, sew those into you real quick.
Okay. At this point, the entire room goes dark, and I need the Fancy Napkin Lumpen to make me or actually, he's going to attack you.
He's attacking me?
Yep.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm just going to tell you that's a hit.
Okay.
It was a 23.
Okay.
And he does 8 damage to you.
Okay, well, I'm down.
So we're just going to say he cleaves you straight in half.
Okay.
No!
Ooh, 2 Lumpens.
Whoa!
That will be the end of his turn.
Okay.
But it's now completely black in this room. I need now, Ryan, you can roll me a d20.
I can? Okay, hold on.
Yep.
12?
The pounding continues up above, and it seems to be getting more frantic, but nothing else happens. All right, Brandon, what would you like to do?
Well, using my keen hearing and smell, can I figure out where this guy is?
Yes, absolutely. You find he is now at the south side, using your sense of smell.
All right, can I pounce on him?
Sure.
I will jump on him, and I'll see if I can grab him first, just for fun there. Does 17 hit him?
Yes, that does. So you feel yourself clawing in. It doesn't really feel like skin, though. It feels like kind of metallic. He had now was like posing as one of the suits of armor and kind of molded his skin to look like that, but you are able to dig through, realizing it's still flesh, and yeah, you grab onto him.
Okay. So what I'm actually trying to do here is to, like, grab hold of him with my horrible needle teeth, then shift back into my regular lumpen form, say, I wish you were a nicer person.
Ooh.
And then all of a sudden the darkness is lifted. And he's just standing there with this wolf clawing on his arm. And I will pause for a second here to say, Brandon, because you're the only one who did damage to him, we'll say you single-handedly defeated this enemy.
Oh, God. You've got Lumpens.
Oh, level 6 now.
And we'll say you advanced to level 6. He stands there for a second. He goes, what am I doing? What am I doing here? I am so sorry. And he goes down, he kind of hunches down onto the ground, and he starts trying to put the pieces of the fancy napkin back together. He starts crying, like tears are just streaming down his face. He's like, I'm so sorry. And Andrew now is like just about to he was just about to go for his throat, but like kind of holds back a little bit. This figure, he goes, please, you gotta help me. Help. We've got to help him. And he's trying to put Fancy Napkin Lumpen back together. He's just kind of smashing the pieces together.
It's okay, buddy. It's all right. I'll give him a hug, and I'll, I guess, trim a bit of cloth from whatever he's wearing and sew it up to Fancy Napkin with the magical thread.
Okay. Yeah, so you'll say you use your action and that, and Napkin Lumpkin, you are completely restored to full health.
Great.
However, it is at this point that you now seem to remember something. As you feel the life come back into you, you remember something that you were taught a long time ago. And you look down next to this other half of you lying on the ground.
Okay, I start to mend it.
So, Fancy Napkin Lump can cast Mending. You see a completely identical version of yourself, the original that before all this material was sewn into him, the way he looked originally when he was captured. He rises up, and what does he say?
Hi, I'm Lumpen. And the other one says, Hi, I'm Lumpen. And then they both look at the guy with blonde hair and say, We don't like you. And he takes 2 vicious mockeries.
All right. You can roll. We'll say so. Roll to hit. Do you roll to hit with them?
Sorry, I don't have the rules actually for vicious mockery.
It's a saving throw.
It's a saving throw. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just, is it against my charisma?
8 plus your proficiency plus your charisma modifier. So 8 plus 2 plus charisma, whatever that is.
Okay.
And it's a wisdom save.
So that'll be 12, I guess.
That does not hit. But does he take half damage?
Nothing happens there. Hey, he's friendly now. It's okay, guys.
He starts frantically running away. He just you see all this stuff flying out of his he's just a mad dash trying to get away now. He's scared. He's confused. He doesn't know what kind of person he is anymore. And he's just throwing all this stuff out of his pockets. And he opens up this trapdoor that's in the ceiling where you think the pounding was coming from. And standing there is a animated suit of armor. And you see terror just strike his face. And the animated suit of armor looks at him, and it says,
Question. Who does Mun serve?
And this guy, he now has kind of reverted to his true form. He's back to his mottled gray skin with kind of a strange face with just kind of a slit for a mouth and completely bald. And he looks around furtively. He doesn't quite understand what he's being asked, and he goes, himself? And the armor says,
Incorrect answer.
And it punches a hole through his chest.
Oh.
And the armor now, it kind of lets him go, and it walks up to you. It doesn't really understand that you guys are living creatures for a bit, and so it kind of continues to walk around. And at this point, the body, he's still somewhat alive, and you see him motioning towards you guys to come to him.
We'll walk over.
Yeah, we
float
approach.
over.
You all fly to him because that's something you can do. And he goes, please, I'm so sorry. He goes, you have to stop them. The other doppelgangers, they're trying to break out. The Emperor, he's a doppelganger. You have to stop him. And he hands you a few other of these journal entries, which he seems to have taken from whatever book he was reading. And he goes, please, make it right. And then the light fades out of his eyes.
I think we have to save the world.
Before the armor approaches you again, we'll say you're able to read the last one of these notes. Who hasn't read one
Ryan
yet?
has.
Yeah, I haven't.
All right, Ryan, you were there. Can you read this final note?
Okay, that's a long one. Everyone, I found a note. Rag Golem experiment, day 30. I recognize now that this Lumpen experiment is only a distraction. I now know that our world is but a miniature, and that I was originally sent here as a prisoner. The adventurers have removed the issues of heat and water, and thus the world seems to be saved for the time being. It is hard to believe that my goal for so many years has been partially achieved. Despite this, my Lumpen tests are still removing me from more important focuses, such as how to begin the process of regaining my memories, which all now seem to be almost within arm's reach. The Lumpens will have to wait. I have specially isolated the only one capable of the men spell. He and the rest I shall store them in the workshop for the time being. Perhaps one day I will once again return to the task of creating a multitude of helpful servants, who I can maybe one day begin bestowing to all citizens of the glass-guarded world.
And your doppelganger kind of looks at you and nods approvingly. And it is at this point that the animated armor now turns to you, hearing you speak aloud, realizing that you are living creatures. It comes to you and it says,
Question. Who does Mun serve?
Is it asking me or all of us?
it's asking you because it heard you speak. It knows now that you're a living creature in this area.
The glass-guarded world?
And it looks at you thoughtful for a second, and it says,
Partially correct.
and then it kind of looks, and then it looks down at you guys, and it seems it's almost, even though it's a suit of armor, its voice seems to soften a little bit. Its features seem to kind of become less strained and strict. And it looks at you all and it says,
Correct answer. Everyone.
And then it turns and it goes back towards the entrance where it came from, and it begins climbing up through this trapdoor that it emerged from.
Bye.
That is very large, Lumpen.
And you, as you guys stand here watching him, once again in your minds, your little cloth minds, you hear the words of this doppelganger, who you hear the words that he said echoing in your heads. You have to stop them.
Guess we have a world to save.
Maybe we should make some friends to help us. The world could be a big place. And Fire Lumpen is looking at, like, all the bits of cloth from him and the two bits that he threw at God Lumpen and Iron Lumpen. We're going to need friends to save the world.
Oh, let's get sewing.
Let's get sewing. And at that point, we are going to end with our literal ragtag group of adventurers headed off to save the world, now multiplying themselves in an insurmountable army of justice. Also, should I be calling you Padraig on this, or should I be calling you another alias?
Shouldn't you just be calling us all Lumpen?
Oh, yes. Sorry. So I think it's just going to get confusing. I'm like, Lumpen, do this. Lumpen, do that. But we could do it.
Oh, well.
We can see how well you guys think on your feet. Mike, I'm going to wave so you know this is a part to cut out. So this is and we're examining the coffin, and we're possibly about to set Mun's body on fire.
Oh, great.
We're just popping him into the microwave for like a quick 30-second.
Yeah, we're just going to nuke him for a little bit.
I'm kind of annoyed with myself that I wasn't describing the spells, because people might wonder why one Lumpen can create bonfires or write stuff.
How are you able to do it?
Fire Lumpen has magical tinkering. So you can imbue a non-magical object with a magical property of your choice. So 5 foot of light, up to 6 seconds of a recorded message, to emit an odor or non-verbal sound, a static visual effect of up to 25 words, which is why I was able to write to Fancy Napkin Lumpkin.
Oh, gotcha. That's pretty cool. I didn't know you could do that.
And he's also got Catapult as one of his spells, which is what I used to propel Iron Lumpen through the air.
Ah, gotcha.
Which can chuck something that's up to 5 pounds in weight, up to 90 feet.
What is that in metric measurements?
5 pounds is about 2 kilograms.
It's 5 pounds. That's a type of money, right?
Yeah, it hurts more if he launches coins.
I'm sure Iron Lumpen was less than 5 pounds.
It's like 1 foot of chainmail.
I'm going to wave again, because this is another part that Mike is going to need to cut out. Brandon, I know you can just wish this guy away. I'll leave it up to you if you think that's good audio or not.
I have, if we're going to get in a fight with this guy, I have other plans.
Okay. So, welcome to another tale from the glass-guarded world.
I mean, Ryan's our bard for
I'm
this
just
one,
kidding.
right? I like Ryan should definitely do. I mean, I guess there's no recap.
So what did you guys think?
That was
It was
Yeah,
entirely
great. That was-
ridiculous.
yeah.
Thank
That
you.
I
was
hope it
brilliant.
becomes canon.
I mean,
he said
like nothing's like non-canonical in here. I mean, we may have burned Mun's original body. We may have unleashed the plague of Lumpens on the world. Oh, hey, Mike. So this is all canon, right?
I did become a god lumpen.
kind of.